So, welcome back in the third lecture. So, we had to stop the previous lecture because of some technical fault. So, in the last lecture, we were discussing pose sets as categories. Means we were discussing that every pose set gives rise to a category. How the objects of this pose sets as category is all the elements of P. If we take the objects as all the elements of P, and for any two members of P, I define the home set of this AB. I define it as a empty set if A is not related with B, and I define it as a single element AB if A is related with B. Okay, so now to verify the axioms of category, we must verify it when the home sets are non-empty. Okay, otherwise there would be nothing to prove. So suppose home set AB is non-empty, home set BC is non-empty. So this means what? This means A is related to B and the only arrow from A to B is AB. B is related to C and the only arrow from B to C is BC. Now this P is a pose set. So this means A is also less than or equal to C by transitivity of this relation. So this means home set AC is non-empty. So the only arrow from A to C is AC. And I define BC composed with AB as AC, the natural choice. And clearly home A is non-empty because A is less than or equal to A by reflexivity of this relation. So the arrow from A to A, the identity arrow, I take it as A. Now I want to know that the axioms of category, they are satisfied. Now first the composition must be associative. So A to B, I have the arrow AB. Suppose I am taking the home sets as non-empty, and say B to C, the arrow is what? BC, and C to D, the arrow is CD. So this means what? This means A is less than or equal to B. Here B is less than or equal to C and C is less than or equal to D. Again I compose these by transitivity. I get that A is less than or equal to D. And from A to D, then from A to D, I have then the arrow as AD. Okay. Now, if I compose now CD composed with BC composed with AB, where does it belong? It actually belongs to home AD. And home AD consists only of one arrow, that is this AD. So home A comma D is having only AD as its member. So there is no choice for this but to be AD. Similarly, if I compose in the other fashion, CD composed BC composed AB. Again, this belongs to home AD. And home AD has only one arrow, that is AD. So this has to be then AD. So therefore the composition is associative. Also identities. So A to A, the arrow is A, and from A to B, the arrow is AB. Okay. So this means what? A composed with AB. It belongs to home AB. And home AB has only AB as its member. So therefore it has to be then AB. Similarly, I have if I compose B with, so the identity of B, that is B, I compose with AB, I would get as AB. Okay. So therefore POSET gives rise to a category. Now classes can also be regarded as category. So classes as categories. Fourth example, classes as categories. Classes as categories. So these are denoted as, this category is denoted by this CX, where X is any class. Where X is any class. Here X is any class. Now objects of this category, object I am taking as object CX. As in the previous case, I take members of X, members of this class X. Members of X. Members of X are sets by definition. And for any xy in X, so for any x comma y in X, even though sets are denoted by capital letter, but here for my convenience I am denoting it by this xy. So for any xy in X, I define the home set of xy. Again, similarly in the fashion I did for POSETs. I define it as empty if x is not equal to y. And I define it singleton x if x is same as y as a set. Okay. Now see here. Now again I would assume here that these home sets are non-empty for verification of categories axioms. So suppose x is y. If x is y, then x to y, the arrow is x. Okay. And suppose y is z, then y to z, the arrow would be y. Now x is y and y is z, so therefore this means that x is z. So the arrow from x to z is then z. Okay. Oh, arrow from this x to z would be x. Okay. So therefore x to y to z. So x to y, the arrow is x. Now y to z, the arrow is y is z. Now see here, x is y and y is z, so this means x is also z and y is x. So the arrow from y to z is y. Okay. Now what could be then x, this y composed x? Now because x is z, the arrow from x to z is x, so therefore y composed x must be x. Y composed x must be x. Now also x composed with x should be x, because the arrow from x to x, since x is x, so the arrow is x. So in this fashion we can define the composition and you can easily verify the axioms of category. That is, the composition is associative and identities acts as identities with respect to composition. So this verification I am leaving as exercise. Now I can have pre-ordered classes as categories. So the next is pre-ordered classes as categories. But before that, I have to define what do we mean by a pre-ordered class. So pre-ordered classes as categories. As categories. What is a pre-ordered class? A class C, a class C is said to be a pre-ordered class. Sorry, I am denoting the class by X. So a class X is said to be a pre-ordered class where there is a relation on X which is reflexive and transitive, where there is defined a relation denoted by less than or equal to on X which is reflexive and transitive. Okay, now I would see that this pre-ordered class is a category, and I denote it by this symbol Cx less than or equal to the relation. So objects of Cx are actually members of X. So objects are, I take as members of this class X. And home set I define similarly as we did in the previous case. Home xy, for any xy in X, I take it as singleton. I denote it by pair X comma Y. So itself, if X is related with Y, and otherwise I take it as empty set. So note that as it is a pre-ordered class, so X is less than or equal to X for all X in X. So this means what? This means from X to X, the arrow is this X comma X. This is the identity on X. Okay. Now suppose X is related to Y, then from X to Y the arrow is XY. And suppose Y is related to Z, so from Y to Z the arrow is YZ. Now since the class is pre-ordered class, so the relation is transitive, so it means that X is also related to Z. So from X to Z the arrow is what? The arrow is XZ. But since there is exactly one arrow from X to Z by definition, that is XZ, so therefore this YZ composed with XY has to be same as XZ. So this is how we define the composition of arrows in this, or the composition of morphisms. Now axioms you can easily verify. Axioms are straightforward exercise. Say for example, if we want to verify the axioms, so suppose I have from X to Y the arrow XY, and Y to Z the arrow is YZ, and say from Z to W the arrow is ZW, and I want to see the composition. Now see here, so associativity, how would I check associativity of the composition of arrows in this category? So ZW composed with yz composed with xy. Now yz composed with xy is xz, so it is zw composed with xy, sorry, xz. And by definition of composition, zw composed with xz is simply xw, if we see this equation. Okay, and from the other side, zw composed with yz and then composed with xy. Now zw composed with yz is yw, so it is yw composed with xy, and if we see the equation star, it is again xw. So the composition is associative. So the first axiom is true. Second, if I want to compose xy with the identity on x, that is xx. So if I see the equation, this equation, it is xy. And if I compose yy with xy, again it is xy. So as required. So therefore every pre-ordered class gives rise to a category. Now see, if we observe the categories of these categories, poset as categories and classes as categories, we must notice that these pre-ordered classes as categories, we must notice that these are the categories with the property that there is at most one homomorphism between any pair of objects. So such categories are given a special name. So you can have a definition. So a category in which there is exactly one morphism or one arrow, one morphism between every pair, not necessarily distinct, of objects is called a pre-ordered category. So the name resembles with the previously discussed example. So this means what? The category classes as sets CX and poset as categories CPX, CP, and these pre-ordered classes as categories. These three are all pre-ordered categories. Pre-ordered classes. So pre-ordered classes considered as a category is a pre-ordered category. Okay. Now the converse is also true. In given any category, you can derive a pre-ordered class. So the converse is true in this case. You see, if you have a category or any pre-ordered category or any category, you can get a pre-ordered class. How? So as a remark, you can write it that every category gives rise to a pre-ordered class. Every category gives rise to a pre-ordered clause. Pre-ordered clause. By defining a relation on the objects as, so suppose C is a category, okay, and I have the object clause of C. So I can define a relation on the object clause of C as, for any AB belonging to the object clause of C, I define A less than or equal to B, the relation if there exists a morphism from A to B. If there exists exactly one morphism from A to B, or you can say that there exists a morphism. If you don't assume exactly one, again it would be a there you have to take there exists a morphism, not this exactly one. There exists a morphism means the home set, this home AB set, it should be non-empty. So the relation is defined in this fashion: A less than or equal to B if the home set, home AB, is non-empty. Now clearly this relation is a reflexive and transitive, as home A is non-empty, because on every, by the definition, since it is a category, so by definition every object has the identity arrow on itself, so clearly it is non-empty. So this relation is reflexive, okay. And if home AB is non-empty, home BC is non-empty, by composition law home AC is non-empty. Home AC is non-empty. So therefore A is less than or equal to C. So this means what? This relation defined on the objects of C is a reflexive and transitive relation. So the object class of C is a pre-ordered class. Okay, the object class of C is a pre-ordered class. So every category gives rise to a pre-ordered class. Now the last and final example of this today's lecture is the example of a product category. Okay, I would first give an example and then give the definition. So I take this category set cross set. I say that set cross set. So set is a category, we know. So now I want to make set cross set into a category. So I take objects of this set cross set as the class of all ordered pairs. All ordered pairs A comma B. Okay, where A is an object in set and B is an object in set. Okay, and between any two distinct objects here, so I define the home set, home AB comma A dash B dash, the home set. It is defined as home set A cross A dash, B cross B dash. That is what? It is the set of all pairs of functions. Set of all pairs of functions. Pairs of functions f comma g, where f is a function from a to a dash and g is a function from b to b dash. And identity on any pair of object, identity on any object a comma b of this category, I take it as this: identity on a comma identity on b. And composition I defined in this fashion. So composition is, so between any morphisms, two morphisms f2 comma g2 and composed with f1 comma g1, I define the composition again because f2 composition f1 is defined in set, g2 composition g1 is defined in set, so I can take f2 composition f1, g2 composition g1. So you can easily verify that the axioms of category are satisfied here. So therefore set cross set is a category. Okay, and this notion can be generalized to any number of other categories, not only set. Suppose I have C1 and C2 be any two categories. Similarly, I can, in the above fashion, I can take this C1 cross C2 as a category. Or suppose I have finite number of categories C1, C2, so on, Cn. Finite number of categories. Number of categories. I can simply define the product in this category C1 cross C2 cross Cn in a similar fashion as above. So categories of this type, they are called as product categories. A category of this type is called as product category. So with this I stop this lecture. So see you in the next lecture. Goodbye.